Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Theatre Bath in Conversation With. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, so please do leave us a comment in the chat so that we know that you're there, and also feel free to ask any questions that you may have as well. If you fancy giving the video a like or a share, then that would be massively appreciated. Now, for this episode, I'm very pleased to be joined by the second Matt of the week. This time it is Matt Finch. We're going to chat a little bit about his Singing United event, which is happening at the Bath City Football Club, and the virtual choir show 6, which is happening live on YouTube on Sunday evening. So here we go. Welcome, Matt.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, good. Yeah, getting into the football spirit.
Getting into the foot, definitely. Yeah, it's exciting. So exciting that we've moved the choir show, but we'll come to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So thank you, Matt, for joining me today. I'm going to start by kind of prying a little bit into you. So you've been a musical director for over 25 years, and also a composer. So I just wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about your background, where you've come from, the sort of things that you've done, all that sort of thing, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like the previous Matt that you may have been watching online, of course, I went to Bath Spa University. In those days, it was the Bath College of Higher Education, which was quite a few years ago. And did my music degree there, and then finished that with my qualification and became a bread manager in Gateway. And I did that for 3 weeks and thought, you know what, this is far too much like hard work and I'm not doing what I enjoy, so I need to do something else. And it was at that point that it was like a big decision to go into piano teaching, composing, arranging, working with kids, doing whatever I could that would be better than working for me. I was the manager of bread, and I wanted to be manager of my own destiny rather than bread. So I was very fortunate enough to become musical director for Musical Youth, which was a theatre company back in the day that doesn't exist anymore, although there are many members who are probably watching maybe at some point on Facebook tonight. And then from there, I became musical director for the Bath Light Operatic Group. And I've been fortunate enough to be with them for now, as you say, 20 years. And we do 2 shows a year. And we put on a show at the Theatre Royal. So we rehearse 2 nights a week. We have a band. It's all wonderful and big. But at the same time as doing that, I've been a teacher. I've been a manager at Bath College, City of Bath College. And done all of that until literally 4 years ago, almost today, it all stopped and I became a full-time musician. That's what I call myself, full-time musician. And that's where basically everything that I was doing in my spare time sort of became the real world. And that's how I earn my money, from what I was doing in my spare time. And before pandemic, I was doing 9 choirs a week, and piano teaching. And then, of course, the pandemic hit and it was, what do we do now? And
Excellent. So I'm going to put you on the spot a tiny bit. So it'd be very easy just to ask you what was your favourite show that you've ever done. Because I mean, as an MD, you must have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of productions. So I'm going to turn it on its head a little bit and say, what's the favourite score for the show that you've done? So what's your favourite score to conduct?
I have two, and they're completely contrasting. One is Sweeney Todd, Stephen Sondheim, and we often do Sondheim, but usually just at the piano, and it's a really sort of small affair. But Blogs were lucky enough; we had a full orchestra, and it was gorgeous. And every night it was tricky. Every night it was a challenge, and every night something else would happen on the stage because there's a lot of underscoring, which is music that is written to fit dialogue or fit scenes. So it's not dance and it's not song. And what was really exciting about that is each night, of course, the dancing was there wasn't the scenes would always take a little bit longer, a bit shorter, or somebody who was falling down the chute would get stuck at the top or stuck halfway down. So the music had to be live all the time, was stretching. And so as an orchestra, we were constantly shifting, which made the thing really live and exciting. And then the opposite of that was Crazy for You, Gershwin. And the music was very metronomic, everything really, really tight, but just such joy in the band parts, the music, everything. It was just great fun. Loved it to bits. Those are my two favourites.
Perfect. I thought that'd be a bit different. Rather than just asking show, I thought you're a musician, you know the music and you know what you like.
Yeah.
So you've kind of touched on it briefly, but obviously things are now reopening, hopefully, fingers crossed. But for the last sort of 14 months, everything's stopped, everything's closed down, everything's shut. So kind of what did you do and how was your kind of experience of lockdown?
Yeah. I mean, we sort of knew it was something was up, didn't we? And about a week before, I think I cancelled my pub choir. Now, pub choir was, funnily enough, a choir in a pub. And that's how it worked. Every week, went to the pub, people turned up, we sang for a couple of hours, different people, different stuff, all just having a sing-song. No concert, no audition, no membership. And it was like, there's this funny thing out there that we might catch maybe from, and particularly from singing. There was that case from America, I think, that was hitting the headline. It said this whole choir had all caught it because they'd sung. That was the gossip, Therefore, we cancelled it. And for that rest of that week was like, well, if we cancel it, how long is this going to go on for? It could be a couple of weeks. I mean, that was the thought back then. It could be a couple of weeks. So we could try somehow going online, moving the choirs online. Not all the choirs moved online. My piano teaching, I thought, well, I know friends who've done a bit of online teaching. I know Tim King, who another MD in the area. I know he said, oh yeah, I've taught somebody in America, and we were like, woo, this is exciting. So we thought we could do it. So we spent about a week trying to get the technology sorted, and you were on the end of the phone as well, and on the end of various things saying, how does this work? I can't plug this in, and I haven't got one of those. Off you go down to Curry's. Oh, we've all sold out of that. Running up and down the stairs from one room into another to see what it looks like up there, not down here, and not getting feedback. I mean, it was a sleepless week, but literally within a week, everything had moved online. That's how it had gone. And the places that I was teaching as well, Western College, they moved everything online. Prior Park, we all moved online within a week. I mean, bonkers how it happened, but it did. I'm not saying that it was smooth, but it did. And people had their lessons, people had their choirs and sang. And yeah, over the, is it 18 months now, I think now, from there, we have all learnt how to do things in a virtual way. And we've experimented and we failed and we've experimented and we've achieved.
Definitely. So kind of on that point, I mean, online choirs have just blossomed. We're both members of Beth Morgan's group on Facebook, and there's choir leaders from that all over the world. It's an incredible group that she set up there. But why do you think it is that all of these people attend choir? What is it that they're getting out of it, and what is it that they're missing, perhaps that they had before the pandemic?
Oh yes, I mean, I suppose one of the questions you have to ask is, before online choirs, why did people go to choir? And I would say there were two reasons. One was for the three reasons. One, because they like music. They like listening to, hearing music, being part of music. Number two, for those moments in a choir particularly where you're part of that choir and suddenly everything comes together and you get the that goes down your neck all the way down, makes you shiver, and it's like a drug. I mean, it is literally like a drug. It's the same sensation. Not that I've had any others, but it's just, when it all works, and you get that thing that goes down your neck and everyone just goes, yeah, that was amazing. That's what you've all been looking for. And then the third thing is because you want to feel part of a group. You want to be part of a team. You want to chat with people. You want to meet people. You just want to feel like you're part of something, once a week, twice a week, that sort of thing. So going online, we've still got the music. There is still the chat and all of that stuff. Depending on which choirs you go to, there's still a lot of community spirit. The thing that's often missing is that, because you're not there live in the room. And I think, and I'm speaking obviously just myself, that's the one thing that we're all missing. We are missing our little fix, our little drug of that makes us go, wow, yeah, that was good. I've been here for 2 hours. I've only had one of those hits, maybe two of those hits, but that's enough to keep me going for the rest of the week. And we haven't necessarily had that. You do get it sometimes online, but I must admit, it's a bit less. Because for anybody who's out there who's thinking, well, it's just normal, you're just online. If you haven't been to an online choir, the thing is, the musical director can't hear you sing. Now, for some people, that's probably a bonus. But as a musical director, I can't actually give you any feedback that says, well done, choir. Tenors, you were marvellous at that point. Altos, you were a bit shaky there. I just have to assume that you got it or not got it.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I think, I don't think the choir leaders are being applauded enough. So I'm going to say this. I've obviously been behind the scenes for a lot of the online stuff, but actually just bringing people together, getting them into a room and a space, giving them that ability to have, I'm not going to say some sort of normal because it's not normal, but that interaction with others that share a similar passion. And I think the benefits of to mental health and well-being and all of that of just being able to join together for an hour a week and meet others, I don't think it's been shouted about enough. So I'm going to do that right now.
Thank you, Luke, for shouting.
I always shout. So let's segue slightly now from that. I was going to go on to Singing United, as that's what we're really here to talk about, but it feels more natural to kind of go into choir show, as that one's coming up now. And, I guess, what was the kind of inspiration behind choir show? And can you tell us a bit more about it? And then perhaps we'll show the trailer for it as well.
Brilliant. Yeah. So Bath Light Operatic Group. See, our show was cancelled. I think 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, something like that. It all went, and so our show was cancelled. And I'd seen various people do online choirs where you put different people in boxes, and I thought, well, I can do that. Haha. So say to blog, come on, let's put one of the pieces that we had already rehearsed. Let's see if we can make a video. I'm sure it'd be easy. We'll have a quick rehearsal and I'll send out this and da-da-da. Boy, was I wrong on it's easy. These videos that you see that, last 3 minutes long, they take hours of the individual person's time to record it without the dog woofing and all that stuff. And then the editor, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. The first time I'd used video editing software, and the number of times I accidentally deleted everything, and all that, sort of lost everything. So we did 2 or 3 of those with blogs where there was dancing and videos and stuff like that. And I'd seen other people, and it was like, we're spending hours doing this, but only 20 people watching it. And usually those people that are in it, maybe a few more, you can't quite tell. But it wasn't really, it was over and done with like that. All that work for just that much. So I remember this was in probably June, I think. I remember emailing you saying, come on, we must be able to do some sort of collaborative thing. And Luke, you'll know that I like collaboration. I like getting lots of different people together. That's the exciting bit. Get everyone together. If they all do a video and we put them all together, we should be able to come up with some sort of concert. Didn't quite know how, didn't know what it would be like, but let's try something. And thank you for always your sort of thoughts of, yeah, I think we can do that, or we can do something like it whenever I sort of come up with an idea, which is great. So basically, our choir show without a number was in July, and I think we had 14 choirs at that point. They all submitted their videos. We have an evening on YouTube, and we share all those videos. I host it, and we all do a little bit of singing as well online. And we get to watch each other's videos, and there's high class hourly, spend video editing that's brilliant, down to those people that literally just managed to get something together, but let's celebrate the whole extreme. So we're now on choir show 6. We've raised over £8,500 for different charities. Another, I think it's 3,000 for all the different choirs, because they get a bit of cut as well. And choir show 6 has got 20 choirs in it, from around England, Southern Ireland, Australia. I can say Finland, Denmark, and Sweden, although I think the choir is actually based in London, but some of the singers are actually from those places. So it's a great thing, and it's good fun. And the most exciting thing is that the people who are in it, when they come and watch it, they say, I got really excited. I got really nervous about the concert. I got the jitters, and I haven't felt that since, pre-show, that sort of thing. And everyone's chatting online to each other. So an exciting buzz. And so that's happening on Sunday.
Brilliant. And we've changed the time, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, people who know me know that football is not something that I know much about. So I didn't know that there was a Euros thing going on, and then of course it was like people were sort of saying, "Oh, it might clash," and I was like, "Well, let's not change the time yet until we really okay." And then last night, obviously, secured the deal, and yeah, so we've changed the time to 6 o'clock, so you can get your tea, you can listen to all these wonderful choirs, eat your tea, sing along, get into that sort of singing spirit, and I think we should be scheduled to finish about 3 or 4 minutes before 8 o'clock. You can run for a wee and then sit down and watch the game, and you'll be in full voice to sing Three Lions and all that stuff at the top of your voice.
Perfect. So basically, we're doing the warm up for the football. That's essentially what it is, isn't it? It's
it's a warm up for the football. Yeah,
vocal warm up. So I think we might as well have a quick look at the trailer now, and then come back after, and we'll talk a little bit about Singing United.
Cool.
I say thank you for the music, for you.
But you didn't have to cut me off, make it like
a bridge over troubled water.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world. It's every night and I'm in bed, and brightest colors fill my head. I'm on my way. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, little ones, I came alive. Wherever we're standing, I won't take you for granted, 'cause we'll never know when life is making you lonely. You can always hold it down. Say my name, sunshine, rain, top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find.
Well, I deserve the round of applause sound effect there again. Did forget to say Beth's commented, "Hey Beth, choir show is awesome. Thanks so much for setting this up for the choirs to be part of. Honestly, my choirs have loved it." So yeah, if you do have any comments, please comment on the video that you're watching. If you're on Facebook, you've got to allow StreamYard to be able to use your name so we can see who's saying it. YouTube, as long as you're logged in, you can leave us a comment. But if you've got any questions for Matt, then please do chuck them in the chat there for us. So, Singing United, we're obviously sat on a football field at the moment, and not just any football field. This is Bath City's football field. So, what was the inspiration behind Singing United?
Well, if you haven't been involved in a choir, then you may not know that since various restrictions were lifted, the one restriction that has stayed throughout this last restrictive phase 3 to 4, has been that choirs can only meet together as 6 in total inside and up to 30 in a group outside. And we were expecting that to change at the time that there was the change, but it didn't, and it stayed there. And basically it riled a lot of choir singers and leaders, particularly when we started to see football matches and all the people on the terraces having a good old sing. And they sounded fabulous and they looked like they were having a lovely time. And we know that the choir leaders were probably do a much more contained, less slightly drunk choir practice than that. And we were just feeling really jealous. And there was nothing we could do. Everyone was writing to their MPs. So this is where I was like, well, let's do something that we can do, which is we're allowed to sing outside. We're allowed to sing in groups of 30 as long as the 30 don't mix. So I know some choir leaders have been outside in a big field and literally drawn a line down the middle and had a third of their choir there, a third of their choir over there. And another third over there, but you're obviously shouting across a distance, and if it rains, that's it, choir is cancelled. So I emailed the community officer that they have down at the football stadium in Bath and said, any chance that we could hire it for 90 minutes? I did ask, first it was, if we find some football players to play on the pitch, can we just sing round the side and ignore the football players? But their pitch is so brand new and so wonderful at the moment because they've been spending lots of money on it. They said, no, can't do that. But you can have the pitch for a very good fee as well. I mean, they've been brilliant. So we've got the stadium, and I thought we were just going to be in the family stadium, which normally would seat 90. So we could have 30 people socially distanced in one half and 30 in the other. But now we've got 90 people that are booked, and I'm hoping for more. The more, the merrier. We can have up to 250 if we took over all the stands. What we've got is 9 other choir leaders coming from London, Weston-super-Mare, somewhere up north. All the people that Beth Morgan has helped us get to meet. And I've said, do you want to come down and teach a song for 8 minutes to a crowd in a football stadium? It's like, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. And they're all coming down. And we're going to meet all these choir leaders as well. We've never met before. And we're going to meet socially distanced in a park and beforehand. Then we're going to come down. Our friends from Spiralux, they're putting up a PA for us. And generator, because we need all of that for the space. And basically 90 minutes of singing. Everyone is welcome. You need to book your ticket by the 13th, because I know that rules are by then it won't matter. Well, we need to stick by the rules. So I need a few days to make sure that there are 30 people that will be in one group, and you need to know which area that you're going to go to, rather than just, help yourself to a seat. There are lots of seats. There's 800 seats, and we don't want you all sitting on just one little group. So make sure you buy tickets before 13th. And we're going to be singing. What are we going to be singing? Well, I know today a choir at lunchtime, we were just singing We Are the Champions because we could. A couple of songs like that, bit of ABBA, why not? Some Queen songs, some just classic yell it out songs. My dad was like, oh, and what about the football songs? I was like, oh yeah, You'll Never Walk Alone. And Did Those Feet, why not? Let's do that. And then our choir leaders are also going to do some sort of like, right, here's one group, here's another group. This is your little 4-bar tune, and build some harmonies up. And we might do a bit of shouting. Why not? Because we can. If it rains, it will still go ahead because we've got a gazebo for the choir leaders, and you'll be all under the terrace. At the moment, the weather looks good. Hopefully.
Perfect. And how much are the tickets for that, and where do they get them from?
It's £3.50 a ticket, and you get it from the same website where the Choir Show 6 is. And maybe we can put that in the chat and things like that. But if you look for me, oh, there it is. There's one thing there. Yeah. Look, just Google Matt Finch or Finch Music. You'll end up there somewhere or other. The actual tickets, I'll tell you what, I'll put that in the chat, can't I? Let me just spend a moment just clicking some buttons. And this will get you through to either tickets for Choir Show 6 or Singing United. There it is. Oh, look, it's flooding it. That's clever, isn't it? How it all works. Look at that. They're £3.50. That's just to pay for the stadium and for the actual the Spiralux as well for their time. The choir leaders doing it just because we're all doing it just because we desperately want to sing with people. You know, we got people traveling all the way from London to do a 5-minute warm up with a group of people because they just want to do a warm up with people live because it's cool. How often do you get to do that and sing in a football stadium?
Not exactly. And who's it open for? Who can come along to it?
Well, absolutely anybody. I know I've got families coming. I've got those people that are singing. I've got somebody who said, I'm bringing my wife. She hates me singing, but she's coming. I was like, yes, absolutely. If this is not an opportunity to come along and sing, but you don't know how to sing or what to sing, or this is it. Or if you just want to come and hear 100 people enjoy themselves and absolutely have a blast, just sit there and listen. You don't have to join in. Just be one of those people who just sits there and goes, this is awesome, because we're just creating it on the spot. There's no, we're not doing auditions and there's no concert. We're just doing it as we go along. The choir leaders will lead it, but they're not performing. There's no performance. This is like campfire singing. It's just fun. So anybody can come. What we will be doing is a couple of lyrics and things like that. I'll put them on a website so that when people have bought their tickets on the Tuesday and have sorted it out, I'll send you information from the website. So if you feel like you want to sing the right lyrics to We Are the Champions rather than just make it up, but you can make it up, you can have it on your phone or download a PDF. But it really doesn't matter. Just sing La La and get to the chorus where we all can do that.
Perfect. So I think we're coming to the end of our time, and quite frankly, I could go on talking all evening.
Absolutely.
But what other projects have you got coming up sort of after Choir Show, after Singing United?
Well, at the end of the month, first of all, I'm involved in Brahms Requiem. Now, that sounds quite serious. And it is. It's a serious work. It's with a company called Run by Singers. And we've got a couple of 100 singers who have been rehearsing online via YouTube, and they all send in their recordings for Brahms Requiem. But what I'm really excited about is that the chap at Run by Singers has said, yeah, let's do this. Let's make this as an accessible performance. So we're singing it in English, which is quite rare for a start. So you'll actually understand what we're singing about, rather than a requiem, which is often in Latin, and you just sit there and go, well, it sounds nice. But we're singing it in English. And also a chap called Paul Whitaker, OBE, who is a signer for British Sign Language. He's going to be signing the whole thing. It lasts 50 minutes. And he's signing it in British Sign Language down in the corner. So I'll be conducting. So it's English and British Sign Language, the whole thing. He's never done it before. And even if you're not like into Brahms, it's beautiful music for a start. Just come and watch him. Just come and join the concert, because he's explaining how he translates, because he has to translate from the English to British Sign Language. It's not just like, oh, this word, I do this sign. And it's fascinating the way that he works through it. And then, of course, he rhythmically has to fit it to the music as well. So that's brilliant. And then that's the end of the month. And then after that, I've got a production of my musical that I've been writing with Mel Lawman, and we're at the Forum, and that's the 7th of August. We've got a cast of 50. We're in the Forum, and we're rehearsing in the rain on Zoom. Kids are dropping and going out on isolation, but they're still there on Zoom. They're still in the distance in the park because they can't join the others. And we've got a band, we've got set. It's going to be fab. It's going to be great fun. And it's a family musical. It's got some great catchy songs in it. And you can get tickets from the Bath box office online.
Fab. And I think just a shout out to the Forum. I think during the pandemic in particular, they've been great, and they seem to be very open to working with the community. So I think if anyone's got an idea for a production or a show, then do contact Bryn there, because they're brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've done some brilliant stuff there, and they've really helped us out with rehearsal space as well, because obviously it's a huge space, so we can get a few people in there.
Perfect. Well, I think, Matt, that wraps things up nicely. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Choir Show 6. Obviously, I'm slightly biased. I've watched the videos and they're all really, really good. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to the football. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing. Like Matt said, if you want any more information about him or any of the shows he's doing, then yeah, please do just search for Finch Music or Matt Finch, and you will find it. So thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you very much, Luke. You're a star.
Thank you, everyone watching. We will do another one of these. If there's anyone you particularly want to see, or if you have an idea for something that you'd like to talk about, please do get in touch and let me know. It's an open platform. It's here, and it's here to be used. So however you want to use it, I'm open to ideas. So thank you very much. Hopefully see some of you at Choir Show 6. And if I don't, I'll hopefully catch you in the real world very soon. Thank you very much.